bitter winds of winter howled across the frozen plains of Eastern Europe, their icy breath chilling all in its path. Amidst this frozen wilderness, a horde of fierce warriors, clad in fur and steel, moved with relentless purpose. The Norsemen, the Vikings, had come to conquer, driven by an insatiable hunger for glory, wealth, and land. Leif Haraldsson, a towering figure with a mane of golden hair and piercing blue eyes, stood at the helm of his longship, the Dragon's Fury. His ship, one of many in the vast fleet, cut through the icy waters of the Dnieper River like a knife through flesh. The sails, emblazoned with the fearsome visage of a dragon, billowed in the wind as the oarsmen, their breaths misting in the frigid air, rowed with synchronized strength. Leif's mind was a maelstrom of thoughts. He was a seasoned warrior, having fought in countless battles from the cold fjords of Norway to the green hills of England. But the lands of the East, the Slavic territories, were new to him. The promise of untold riches and fertile lands had lured him and his men to these distant shores. He knew the journey would be perilous, but the rewards were too great to ignore. Beside Leif stood his trusted second-in-command, Eirik the Black. Eirik was a stark contrast to Leif, with raven-black hair and a grim demeanor. His loyalty was unwavering, and his prowess in battle was legendary. Together they had forged a bond through blood and steel, their friendship as strong as the iron swords they wielded. The fleet soon reached the shores of a small Slavic village, its wooden huts huddled together against the cold. The villagers, unaware of the impending doom, went about their daily lives, their laughter and chatter a stark contrast to the approaching menace. With a signal from Leif, the Vikings disembarked, their boots crunching on the frost-covered ground. The villagers' peaceful existence was about to be shattered. Leif raised his sword, its blade glinting in the pale winter sun, and let out a thunderous roar. His warriors echoed his cry, their voices merging into a terrifying war cry that echoed across the plains. They charged into the village with savage fury, their weapons cleaving through flesh and bone. The villagers, caught off guard, tried to flee, but the Vikings showed no mercy. Blood stained the snow as the village was consumed by fire and death. As the battle raged, Leif found himself face to face with a formidable opponent. A tall, broad-shouldered Slavic warrior, wielding a massive axe, stood in his path. The warrior's eyes burned with defiance, and Leif knew this would be no easy fight. Their weapons clashed with a deafening ring, sparks flying as iron met iron. Leif's movements were swift and precise, but the Slavic warrior matched him blow for blow. Eirik, seeing his friend in peril, fought his way through the chaos to reach Leif's side. Together, they engaged the warrior, their coordinated attacks overwhelming him. With a final powerful strike, Leif's sword found its mark, and the warrior fell to the ground, his lifeblood staining the snow. The battle ended as quickly as it had begun. The village lay in ruins, its inhabitants either slain or taken as thralls. The Vikings began to gather their spoils, their eyes gleaming with triumph. Leif stood amidst the carnage, his chest heaving with exertion. He looked at Eirik, who nodded in silent acknowledgement. They had won this battle, but they knew many more awaited them. As night fell, the Vikings made camp, the warmth of their fires a stark contrast to the cold brutality of the day. Leif sat by the fire, his thoughts drifting to his homeland. He missed the fjords and forests of Norway, but he knew his destiny lay in the east. The Slavic lands were vast and rich, and he was determined to carve out a kingdom for himself and his people. Eirik joined him, a tankard of mead in hand. "To victory," he said, raising the tankard. "To victory," Leif replied, clinking his tankard against Eirik's. As he drank, he felt a sense of resolve harden within him. The blood on the ice was only the beginning. The Vikings would continue their conquest, their legend growing with each battle won. The East would know their might, and the name of Leif Haraldsson would be etched in history as a conqueror and a king.